All right, we are recording, guys. It is September the 2nd, 2025. I'm out here on the back patio. It's a little dark. I brought one of Emily's lamps off of the side table. So hopefully y'all can see me. Apparently, Aaron is filming from a black hole in the Andromeda cluster. Uh, you're just backlit. So we got a video for you tonight. Got Aaron on the studio live action here, and we got you a few myths about pressure washing, soft washing. Wanted to cover these with you tonight. How you doing up there, my boy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. It's doing good up here, bro. It's getting a little cooler, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it,
What are you puffing on there?
man. This is a Towback Jackson, and no, I think it's a
Andrew Jackson.
I buy cigars by the box, and so every time you go to the counter, and I'm looking for my other one, I brought it up here. But every time you go to the counter, they have these little packs of like 20 cigarillos. Have you seen them, like the tins?
Yeah.
And different brands, and I just like picked one up. I think this is like a Tayback. Yeah.
Oh, is it the Tobacco Special? That's a
Yep.
Drew Estate.
Mm-hmm.
The Drew Estate lineup. So they do the one that's coffee infused.
Yeah, that's it. It's really nice.
Real sweetener on the outer wrapper leaf. There's got some sweetener on there. Yeah.
They don't last no time, but it was just an impulse buy. You know what I mean?
Gurkha has got a new line out that's vanilla flavored. So, guys, we're going on a rabbit trail here, but bear with us. If you're into cigars, you might like this. Gurkha's got a new lineup that's infused with like vanilla. It's pretty good. And they're not, guys, if you go and look in like the very bottom rung of cigars that attract guys sometimes is the acid brand. Those are garbage. Those are absolute crap. So if you've smoked an acid cigar, they're good at marketing. They're usually pretty cheap. These are kind of a step above that, getting into flavored stuff before you get into, regular stuff. But they're it's a little easier to get into with some of the flavored. There's another one that Oliva makes called the Nub, and they're a cafe. They call them a Nub Cafe. They've got a few different blends, and they taste like espresso or whatever. So they're good. If you like coffee, might be something you want to check out. I've been smoking cigars for a long time. A lot of people thought that I've had this comment more than one time. Aaron made him smoke cigars. Like, bro, I smoke cigars. I just didn't tell y'all about it because you too damn. You wasn't ready to hear that much truth at one time.
Aaron, you gonna smoke this cigar now?
Now I've got a 1964 Padron. These are pretty good. I prefer the 26 a little bit over the 64, but these are good. I have to smoke them slow. They will give me a little bit of a headache. But we got you some myths tonight. As we sit here, puff on a good smoke. It's coming to the end of the summer. It's pleasant out right now. It's not quite as hot. And we put together a quick video just to kind of give you guys, if you're new or if this is your first year, you're brand new getting into it, some of the common things that we have seen and heard a million times. And I'll go ahead and hit you with this first one. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Myth. Oh, wait.
Before we do,
hold on.
We got an event coming up.
We do have.
We got an event.
That was an alley-oop segue.
Alley-oop. We got an event coming up October 3rd and 4th. Serious Starter Boot Camp. The last one of the year.
Yep.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We always sell it out. It's a really cool in-person event. You guys can come into Roanoke for 2 days and hang out with Cody and myself at the Southeast Softwash factory. And the first day, Cody's going to be going over everything technical, softwash, chems, safety, OSHA, troubleshooting on your rig. Cody, what else? Like, you go over a lot in that day.
It's a lot. Yeah. It's a heavy day. Eat lunch in the middle there. But other than that, it's constantly something we go over. Specialty chems, a little bit of pricing and package structure, how to build your packages that you're going to offer the client, which Aaron ties in some of that on the next day on Saturday as far as the method to deliver that to them. We cover some of that pricing, package structure, house wash, organic cleaning, specialty chem cleaning, how to actually do the job, troubleshooting in the afternoon. We usually try to go out in the field and clean a actual job. Now, sometimes I can't line that up if it's weather not cooperate or something like that. But if we don't have a infield job, we will clean the shop. So we will spray, show some techniques on how to not waste a bunch of chem, how to do it right, application stuff, gremlins. And I have a little fake structure built at the shop just for this. So it's like a little demo. It's got different types of siding, different types of roofs, and you can see kind of how your mixture works on different substrates. And then on Saturday, we wipe that slate clean and go straight into Aaron's day. So what are you covering on Saturday?
Everything marketing. I think a lot of you guys, if you follow the channel, some of you guys have never seen me before, but Lean and Mean Academy is my channel. And I started from nothing. I built a $300,000 a year pressure washing business, lean and mean style, which means me and a truck. And I think I ended it with like me and a helper in a truck. The optimal high ticket focused pressure washing business, make more, work less thought process. And going to be teaching you guys how to market that type of business. Now I'm on an 8-figure company and I am the CMO of that company. And so I know how to market from the smallest of the small guy to the biggest of the big guys, right? So I can show you guys exactly the first steps you need to take in your pressure washing business, where your money should go to get an ROI. Like the biggest thing here for me is not to teach you a bunch of different marketing techniques. It's to tell you, take $1 out of your wallet. This is the first place it should go to make that dollar turn into $10, right? And if we can do that with $100, we got 10,000, we got $1,000, right? So that's the goal of my day in the marketing segment, is to show you where to put your money to make leads come through the door to where you can go make a ton of profits on those. So sign up. Cody will put a link in the description, and it always sells out. We look forward to seeing you guys there.
Yep. And look, I want to go on a small rant here before we get into it. This is probably Serious Starter Boot Camp number, I don't know,
Like,
a bunch. This photo here is the very first one, and that's before the building, the shop had a mezzanine area. It's a long time ago. So we're going to pitch you coming to our event. We'd love to have you guys. Everybody usually comes pretty squared away. We have a great time. Be careful who you take training and advice from, right? Be careful who you're allowing to mentor you. I'm not saying I'm the best. Okay. We've dialed back on a lot of this training stuff because we're doing a bunch of other stuff, but we still do offer it in this format. We do that weekend. It's fun. But like he said, it comes across, if you're real allergic to success, you don't hear what we're trying to say. He has to tell you that he started with a truck. He did this much. He has to tell you that he's won before. Okay. Grew it to X with a helper, hit X. Right now we're we're coming up on about 60 million in sales. I'm bad on that number because I don't update it till the end of the year, and then I stack on another like huge amount. So we're not saying that to tap our own backs. What we're telling you is we're good at what we're teaching. We're the best at what we're teaching. So before you sign up or spend a bunch of money, there's freaking candle fly out here. There's a lot of guys that will teach you because they can't do. There's an old saying that says those that can't do teach. It's not really a true saying. Sometimes it's true, but sometimes the people that can do also like to teach, and they also like to share that knowledge. So unless you're following somebody that's been there, done that, all right, we've got like 4,000 Softwash systems damn near out in the field globally, been doing it for 25 years. We know what we're talking about. So rest assured, if you spend the money and you come, it's not going to be a bunch of fluff. Okay. We done forgot more than you'll really need to know in the first 2 years. So you will leave. Everybody always says they left with, a ton of gold nuggets of information. So tonight we'll give you a little bit of info here on some myths. Look at here. I got me a little myth font. Now I did steal that from Mythbusters, Jamie and Adam Savage. And I asked Chat GPT to run that, but it wouldn't do it because it said, no, I can't do that. That's copyrighted. So I put it over the top of the damn thing. But myth number one, I don't think they would care. Okay. Myth number one, this is on the technical side of the house. You got to have about 300, 400 gallons of water. You can't. I mean, that's the least damn amount. You got about 300 gallons of water.
Yeah,
is that true?
That is myth number one for sure. Numero uno. No, dude, you probably need 100 gallons of water. 50 gallons of water is fine for most places, honestly.
Now, why is that? Why is it such a common myth? And why? Tell me why you don't need. You literally don't need all that.
Because you just hook up to the customer's water. Like that is the status quo in our business. Is the customer is going to let us use their water. At the end of the day, we used $3 worth of water. You know, maybe if we cleaned everything, right? Water's so cheap, so you're always backfilling your tank. You don't need something, you know, a tank that's crazy huge, because you're never going to be stranded like that, and you should never allow yourself to be stranded like that. Um, I think the only time guys would need like like big gallons of water, man, is when you're like cleaning like oil fields that
Yes.
don't, you know, like you're out in the middle of nowhere and there's no access to water. But most of you guys are cleaning residential stuff, you know, Chick-fil-A's, stuff like that.
Well,
There's
here's
always
another
access.
that will. This is common too. We'll get guys that come. You know, they're there to pick up their equipment, and if I'm there, I usually try to walk around with them and go over the rig, and they'll say something like, "Well, how long is that tank going to last me when I'm washing?" I'm like, bro, that's not really how it works, guys. So your water tank is called a buffer tank. Say, okay, if I got a Poly Pro, let's throw one up on the screen here. Here's a Poly Pro, and that is 50 gallons of water, 50 gallons of bleach. Well, you don't have 50 gallons of water. You actually have infinity gallons of water. But what they're thinking is, okay, if I'm running 50 gallons of water and I've got a 5.5 gallon a minute pressure washer and a Super 8 soft wash system, I'm running both of those at the same time. Well, that's 13 and some change, right? So I'm evacuating, but you're not. That's not how it works. So if I say this about the soft wash system, I knew it was a damn scam the whole damn time. It's not. Let's just talk about the pressure washer, because y'all will let a pressure washer slide because you don't think there's like big pressure out there that's they work for big pressure. So if you have an 8 gallon a minute, right? Let's just say you got an 8 gallon a minute pressure washer, but you put tips in it, whether that's on the end of your gun, the lance, the surface cleaner. You just say you're hooked up to a 20-inch surface cleaner. Well, you got two tips under there. And the purpose of the tips is to restrict the GPM, which increases inversely proportional. It increases the pressure. So yes, it is an 8 gallon a minute washer, but even with an open ball valve, you're probably not quite getting 8 because it's got to go through the hose reel and all the hose and all that stuff. So you're getting a little bit of friction loss. But an open ball valve that you kind of skosh back a little bit to create a rinse stream, that's probably the most you're going to be able to actually use the washer and use the most water with the washer. And that's not 8 gallons a minute. It's probably 6 or something like that. So the ability to build the pressure, which we do need, even on the soft wash side of the house, right? With the, say you got super pump or super 8 or whatever, doesn't matter what it is. It's got to be able to take its max GPM open flow rating with Dexter's laboratory ass in a lab that said this thing makes this many gallons a minute open flowing, but it's going to create something less than that when you're actually using it through a gun or a nozzle or a wand or whatever that attachment is. So you're hooked to a residential spigot. And if we ask Google real quick, let's see.
How much?
What is the average amount of gallons per minute from a residential spigot? It says 6 to 12 gallons a minute. Okay. My old house in Roanoke was on the high side of that. I got about nine and some change. So on that house, my old house in Roanoke that Aaron's been to 100 times, I could run a pressure washer, a 5.5, and I could run a soft wash system all day. I'd start off with a full tank of water, and when I got done washing, I had damn near full tank of water. So that's how that works. So hopefully that makes a little more sense, guys. You're not showing up with all the water that you're going to use. You had a short go crazy. You got a ton of views. Wasn't it about that topic?
Oh yeah. It was like the customer wouldn't let me use their water, which I made that shit up. I mean, honestly, because there ain't a customer out there that's telling me no. See, when I show up, this is how it's going to go.
Right.
I've never had a customer. I've had customers have a
Ask
problem. I literally, I've had like one customer, and we booked a job, but we never had went out there yet. And they were like, they called me. They were like, "Are you going to use my water?" I'm like, "Yeah, I use everybody's water." And they were like, "Well, I don't really like that." I'm like, "Cool, man. I'll take you off schedule. Have a good day."
Yeah.
I like, and
You didn't
I
even
don't play
care to
that.
explain it
Nah.
because you had lead flow, so it didn't matter. But guys, if I've had that before too, a bunch of times, because everybody here broke, right? And they're thinking that you're going to show up and leave, and they're going to get an extra $200, $40 on their water bill. For people around where we live, is it might as well, you know, they got to get a reverse mortgage. All right, like we're gonna have to amortize this shit out. So you can't explain to them, look, it's not going to be but maybe a couple of dollars, because they charge by the 1,000 of gallons, and it's like 19 cents. It's some stupid number. Actually, let's find out. We have the magic of the Googles, right? Let's see.
It's literally nothing. I don't think you could. You dang
How
sure
much
can't get a
does
Chipotle
water
bowl.
cost at your house per 1,000 gallons, nationwide average? Yeah. Okay. So about $6 per 1,000 gallons, but in just about every place you have like a minimum that you're already going to pay this flat rate, and it covers up to this amount. Anything over that, they charge you per 1,000. You're not going to use 1,000 gallons. You use a couple hundred gallons, so it's literally a few dollars. So, guys, that is myth number one. It's a big thing. Dudes don't understand it. I get it. If you're brand new, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't really understand how the buffer tank thing works. And it's funny to me. Hold on, my damn cigar is gonna go out because I'm talking so much. But it is funny to me to see other folks that build rigs out there, and they'll put these massive tanks. And we've done it before at the customer's request, because that's just what they think they need, you know. But I'm here to tell you, you don't need it. You just don't need it. Myth number two: you don't need training to do this. You can figure it all out on your own.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you figure out anything, I guess. You know,
This one really ain't a myth, but it's like a half myth. You
yeah,
can figure it out on your own.
yeah. I mean, I don't know about my side. You ain't gonna learn what I for
No,
sure.
you
You're
ain't.
not
No, you. Let's reframe it right. Like the washing side,
right.
yeah, you can figure it out. Now, I still wouldn't recommend that, because what figuring out means on that side of the house is you're
Right.
going to kill a whole bunch of plants,
That's right.
TVs, and damage. Right. So the cost of the training, or a vidya. I was trying to say virtual and video at the same time. A vidya module, whether you take a virtual training or come to an event. Yeah, you can figure it out, but you're going to spend way more. And that timeline is about probably 6 or 8 months, a whole season.
Right.
Pretty. So now let's flip to the other side of the house. You'll
You
figure
ain't
that shit
figuring
out.
that out. You ain't figuring out what I'm gonna teach you. Because you don't even know what to Google. You like, no, I'll just Google it. He's like, Google what?
Good fucking luck.
How to market a pressure washing business. Yeah, what are you gonna find? You're not gonna find it. I mean, look,
We'll
dude, I've done every type of
link.
SEO ads, all of it. I know what works. I know what doesn't work. I know it works. What should happen in the first 6 months of a business? What should be happening in year 2? I know all of that landscape. And I don't think from the wash side, I don't think a guy could just figure that out unless he's already like in the marketing world and decides to pressure wash. It's a completely different mind, you know.
Well, then
And
there's also the other leg of the stool, that's the admin side. That's not as important. It's not as vital today. Like, it's not going to keep your business afloat today, but it is a very important part of your business that if you don't know anything about it, you're not going to figure that out either. So, yeah, you can stumble through and kind of teach yourself. You're going to have a lot of these whoo moments. Like, that's the sound my dad makes when something bad almost happens. So, hit it one more time. You almost had that shit. When I was a kid, I thought he had a dove in his pocket. Like, you're gonna have a lot of those moments. You're gonna break a lot of solar lights and shit like that. But
oh yeah, that's the sound I make whenever I see that one of them outlets pop.
bro, we were sitting at Burger King one time. This was years ago. We had a guy that worked with us, Mike Smith, Mike, little short guy. He worked with us, and we were sitting there. This is probably 6 years ago. Looking on Facebook at some Facebook group, and they were in there talking about outlets, and a guy had a close call with an outlet, and I was like, I don't know how. I ain't never had an outlet. Crackle pop. Well, I don't know, man. What they do just dumb, man. They dumb as hell. All right, let's go wash the next. So we literally got done eating, threw our shit away, got in the truck, went to the next house, and that house was the coach of the football team at Hanley. I can't think of his name. They had a big old house up in the country, so we go in there and wash. He wants us to do in his garage. He's got like vinyl siding in the garage, so it's easy to clean out. Well, guess what? A damn outlet about caught on fire, and I was like, all right, Lord, I understand what you're talking about. I understand. I had just been lucky like 5,000 times before that. But yeah, you can stumble your way through it with anything on the technical side. You can if you're kind of a little bit handy, but you're not going to figure out everything. And that's why a lot of businesses don't make it after the first year. That's why they don't make it. They don't know what
that is true. I speak from being like pretty technically.
He done froze up on me. We'll wait about 10 seconds because he'll. There, all right.
There you go.
You're back. You cut off it. I speak from being technically.
Oh yeah, technically, like a lot of guys don't know that I speak from that side of it because I say because I am technically savvy. A lot of people don't know that about me. They don't know that, like, I grew up in a shop, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, you'll learn, how to do this washing and troubleshooting. Bro, I'm gonna tell you that's not true. I'm taking that back right now because we got some guys who've purchased rigs in the past and guys that we, look at, we're like, well, he don't really know what the hell he's doing. You know?
I mean, I do have to kind of dial that back because I think a lot of times everybody's me and they ain't, they can't figure stuff out. So yeah,
white collar guys, like white collar guys who come into the industry, they haven't literally sweat their lives away learning turning wrenches and shit.
You'd be ashamed to know how many grown men, and these ain't necessarily just white collar dudes. They come pick their shit up and they got to come back in and ask one of us to help them with that ratchet strap. And I say, Lord have mercy. I hope the damn Japs and Germans stay calm because we can't win another one. Not like this. It ain't happening. It's not going to happen again because they can't work. They literally can't work a ratchet strap. And when they leave, I'm like, well, that guy's never going to figure this rig out. We're not a franchise. We sell you a business and a box of equipment. We'll give you some training, help you as best we can, but we can't camp out on the job site with you. So coming and taking some training, it can light year you ahead in the game and teach you a lot of stuff that you just wouldn't have even known. Ready for myth number 3?
Let's do it.
Myth number 3 is, it's probably my favorite one. The market is saturated and you cannot charge high ticket prices.
Now, hold on now.
Where the hell did the words high and ticket?
I think we both know. See, didn't nobody say nothing about no high ticket till Lean and Mean came on the scene.
Now it's all high ticket.
Everybody, high ticket, pressure wash. Those two words were not synonymous with pressure washing. Everybody, the word was competitive. That's what they were saying. I came in and started saying high ticket in 2017, 2018, and left my legacy, left my fingerprint, my thumbprint.
when you create a search term, see, that's the thing. Like that's yeah, guys are scared to charge high prices. And there's depending on where you're located, it is a market that's growing, which is a good thing. People are more aware of roof cleaning and soft washing and stuff like that. But uh, let me break it down for you. Any service business that's lower threshold of entry, it's a double-edged sword. You will have more competition because it's slightly easier to get into than HVAC or becoming an electrician or becoming a certified plumber, right? That goes out and makes a ton of money. It's a little more barrier of entry than like lawn care, but lawn care is a good example because in any town America, is there 3 or 4 established lawn care businesses that make a ton of money every year?
Oh yeah.
They are not worried about going out of business and they're just doing their thing like this, right? Depending on how big the town is, could
Yep.
be 50 of them. If you're in Atlanta, there's probably 250 of those.
Yep.
And while that is true, is it not also true that there's a big swath that comes through every year and dies? They're annuals. They're those little plants that die off every winter. Both of those are true, right?
Yeah, it's a churn rate that happens in the industry. It's good. It separates the wheat from the chaff, man. The people who are serious about it, the cream rises to the top. The people who learn to get leads on command, those are the people that survive. The people that learn how to turn $1 into $10 are the people who survive. It's not the guys who know how to wash who survive. It's
No,
not that. It's the other stuff that surrounds that. You got to know how to wash. You got to know how to not kill shit. You got to know how to, take care of the customer's property.
right,
But the other side of it is the biggest piece of this puzzle, and that's never going to be saturated. Why is it never going to be saturated? Because it takes work, it takes studying, it takes keeping track of trends or hiring people to do that, right? A lot of guys, if I ask them, say, hey man, you want to run Google ads in Atlanta, I'm going to need a minimum of like 3 to 4 grand a month, which isn't a lot of money. But guys will be like, oh my God, that's like $50,000 a year. I'm like, yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, it's not any money, but they're like blown away because they've never written a check monthly to someone. Now, what would I say that would make you is probably $40,000 to $50,000 a month, like plus organic marketing and stuff like that. But most people are never going to do that, Cody. They're never going to say, hey, let's take this leap of courage and separate ourselves from the rest of these yahoos, the rest
right,
of these idiots, and let's start putting money on the marketing to where those people get to churn out next year.
yeah,
And I'm still here in year 2 and year 3, right? That's it. It's knowledge is the separator. And that's why there will never be too much competition, is
right,
because people are lazy. They will not learn. Most people will not pay to come to an event. They think this is a joke. They'll literally comment, I can't believe you're paying those guys. Meanwhile, he clocks in and lives in an apartment.
yeah.
Like, don't,
And
you know what I mean? Like,
a lot of it too is just being tenacious. It's just we do so much stuff, guys. We've done stuff this year. We're not going to really ever probably talk about all the details of it. There's no reason to, but it's like launching a whole nother expedition. And the way we look at it, it's a multi 6-figure endeavor, and we're just like, I don't know, we're just going to do that. How are you going to do it? I don't know, we'll just do it. And when we say we're going to do it, we're going to fucking do it. I don't
yeah,
know
it's not a
exactly
question.
how. I kind of know, and I know that along the way there's going to be a bunch of shit in the way.
There always is a
It's
bunch
gonna
of
be that,
shit.
right? But I'm playing the long game. It's like I'm not out here playing around. It fucking shall be a super
Oh, yeah.
pump. This pump is gonna be a thing, right? And like this valve is gonna be a thing. And the more stuff you do, the more confident you get. It just people roll over so easy.
Yeah.
And no matter what business you're starting, it's one of the reasons why our restaurant industry has so much churn. Same problem.
Yeah.
Because a lot of dudes can cook a hell of a chicken wing on that grill over there, and they like beer, and they're like, well, I'll open me a little restaurant. And you look up the churn rate in the restaurant industry, because there's more to it than that. You got to have some tenacity, especially the first few years. Like, really, Southeast Softwash, to get to this point, it's a good 5-year run that I worked. And then when Aaron came on board with us a couple years ago, now I got another guy that's working just as hard as me. So I got 2 horses pulling. But I'm talking about like 70-hour weeks is like a low week. And you don't really even, I don't even count it. Like, I'm not bragging that I work. I'm not like, I work 70 hours. That's what I do. I don't know. I'm not thinking about it. I'm not counting the hours. I was up at the shop 2 days ago at 2:30 a.m.
Yeah.
I woke
That's
up, can't
your
sleep.
style.
I'm late 30s. I guess nobody told me you had to piss a lot, and you wake up at random fucking times of night. So I'm like, well, I can only watch so many seasons of Survivor, man. And Les Stroud is going to do his shit on this phone. So you know what I'm gonna do is go on the shop and I'll go build something. But if you don't have that, like, if your brain is in if your brain goes to what time do we get off, you
Right.
might as well just stop, or you got to do some really hard rewiring of your hard circuitry.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the other way, to where you're just like, hey, what are we doing? Let's go. How far are we going? My brother's that way a lot. You know, my brother's ex-Army Special Forces guy. He's going to go sign up for selection. He knows it's going to suck, and he just has the ability to just cut that switch off that cares about the suck. He just cuts the switch off, and he's like, yeah, it sucks. That's fine. Let's just do it. You got to have some of that in you to just push through some of the things that are going to come up and just be, obstacles and competition, and this changed and that happened and this happened. And yeah, a million things are going to happen, but you got to look at the big picture, right? Do you want to just work through these things and build your business? Or do you want to be mad every day and, oh my God, thank God it's Friday. Oh God, it's Monday. I ain't trying to do that shit.
No, dude. No.
I just rather,
Fall in love with the process.
It just is what it is. Now, I will joke about it. Okay. I'll say this. I ain't doing shit tomorrow. I tell you why I ain't doing. I'm so damn tired. It's hard. I ain't doing. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lay up in bed. I'm gonna watch Clint Eastwood movies, and then when it comes tomorrow, I'll be like, all right, let's go on the shop. You have to have a lot of that, and if you've got that, you're a mile ahead. I'm telling you, these young folks nowadays ain't got no. What would your dad say about the Gen Z competitor that pops into the mechanic space in South Alabama? Dean Parker ain't studying that, dude. He can't find a 10 millimeter socket in if he had to.
Dad is so old school that he won't even he doesn't even understand the AB conversation. No. Like the comparison. He's just like, I don't know. I do what I do. I don't know. He don't even know there's other people. Dad just does what he does. It's like,
and it works, right?
Yeah, he's not in the comparison game. He's been doing it for 40 years at like a professional level, working on cars, and he's the guy in the town, and everybody knows him for dual exhaust and custom stuff, and that's what he does. And he just every day, Dean's working every day, still every day.
What'll happen is if you do that for a few years, if you can dedicate 5 years to it, 3 years on the low end, 5, you'll look up one day and you'll be like, damn, I got a business. And that's how it'll be. So
yeah, you can't really focus so much on tomorrow. Like, you can't focus on seeing the results. You got to focus on the process. What is the next big needle mover? And that's going to really move the needle for the company. That's what you have to focus on, and getting that done. And like Cody said, eventually you wake up and you're like, oh, wow. Like, I got a business going here,
You'll usually have that moment when you go to file your taxes.
Yeah, and they tell you how much you got to pay. God,
your accountant says you made X amount last year. Like, the hell, well, shit, I guess I did. Yeah, you'll be a big. If you're kind of lefty liberally, I don't know why you've watched this far in the video, but if you are, the quickest way to become a conservative is go and file that tax return next year when you done
Yeah.
build yourself something. Get Obama to tell you didn't build that. That'll help your feelings out a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you start making a lot of money, you'll turn into a conservative real quick.
I love the bill. It's a big, beautiful bill. Look, I told you guys that we had 3, but I got you an extra one in here. All right, little special sauce. And he's kind of hit on this a little bit earlier, but myth number 4: you don't need to invest in marketing. Word of mouth carry your business just fine. And elaborate a little more, if you will, and we'll let these boys go.
Look, you don't have to know how to do it. All right. I think I need to relieve that pressure off of you. You got, looking like a damn pressure cooker at grandma's house.
Chicken dumpling.
Yeah, worried about it all. You don't have to know how to do it all the time. You just need to know what's going on. Okay. To where you hire the right people to do it. Okay. And you're not overpaying for those people, especially in the beginning. That's really one of the secrets. I know how to do it all because I was poor. And so if you're poor, you either get to learn how to do it, or if you got money, you pay people to do it, right? I didn't have any money, so I had to learn how to do it. Well, turns out I learned a lot. And so it helped me on down the road. I was able to apply that knowledge into other things. But you do have to
That work ethic combined with a touch of the tism.
Touch of the tism. I could have autism. I could have a little ADHD.
Might be a wizard.
He is a multimillionaire. So I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Go look at my truck tag.
Yeah, ever we embrace our uniqueness. I am probably a little ADHD for sure, but it keeps me curious. That's one thing it does for me. Aaron is always curious, always looking for the edge, always 2 steps ahead. Always. If you have not read The Art of War by Sun Tzu, you need it. If you haven't read The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, you need to read it. If you haven't read The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene, you need to read it so you can learn how to stay 2 steps ahead of your competition, which is you're watching Southeast Softwash do that in real time. There's a lot of ways to, yes, sir. The only of its kind, corrosion proof units. That's never been a thing. Bring your own trailer. If you got one, yeah. I mean, I don't know, call the guys. If you don't have one, they could probably source one for you if you want. That's never been a thing. It's never been a thing for. We're breaking new ground. We're 2 steps ahead. If you're going to notice at Southeast Softwash, we're always 2 steps ahead. When they're zigging, we're zagging. This is stuff that you can learn, and this is stuff that you can read, but you have to be willing to invest in your knowledge and your marketing of your business. You have to be willing to invest to figure out, how do I become 2 steps ahead? Yeah. How is that even it? What does that even look like when I am 2 steps ahead? And why would I value those 2 steps? Why does the market value? Why does my bank account value the 2 steps I'm taking that are ahead of everyone else? Because let me tell you, you could take 2 steps in the wrong direction. Okay. You could quickly, we could have sat there and said, man, we're going to build a better aluminum system.
Right.
We're right. No, dumb idea. Completely differentiate, better performance. Give the people something that no one's ever given them before that actually is better. So we invest a lot in ourselves. We invest a lot in learning, but we also invest a lot of money in marketing, and you're going to have to put a bunch of money in marketing. And I will tell you that not all of that marketing is going to turn an ROI, and it shouldn't. Okay. The ones that don't turn an ROI are a confirmation of your faith and your self-esteem, that you possess. That's what those are. And you need to do that. Those are casting the seeds that did not grow, right?
Yep.
You got, because you can't hold on to them. If you hold on to them, for sure it won't grow. You got to cast them.
It's got to fall to the ground and perish to become, to yield 100 fold. If you throw out 4 and some goes on stones and some goes on thorns and some goes on good ground and some goes by the wayside and gets trampled down but so you're only popping 25%. But yeah, that's true. But 25% is the norm. Like that's 25% is 100% of what everybody eats. It's
Right.
like that's
Yeah.
you got to be able to throw that out and be okay with missing sometimes. Like, and I think that stops a lot of guys because it stops them on the technical side, on the hands-on, the equipment stuff.
Sure.
Because if you get one of these right here, I'm going to tell you at pickup, if I'm there, my brother, whoever's doing the walk around, if it comes up, budget $2,000 a year for maintenance, probably be under that. If you get one of these, that's the Poly Pro. Budget about $1,000 a year for maintenance. It should be under that. That's oil changes, belts, normal stuff, swivels. But you would be surprised if I were to tell you how many people call back in and they're like aghast at month 6 that they got to buy a swivel for their hose reel that's been under pressure for 6 months. It's like, well, my swivel's dripping. Yeah. Well, I mean, what are we going to do? I'll buy you another swivel. They're on the website. Well, I mean, it's like, dude, it's $60. You're 6 months in, right? There's like, you're
Made
asking
a heap of money.
You're asking for magic.
Yeah.
I got to buy a head kit. Well, yeah, but how long do you run that? I don't know, several months. Well, yeah, but that's right. Like that's the amount you should. There ain't another one out there that is that great. It's not like you don't realize. So they don't have any perspective because they've never done anything else. And so to them, it's a big deal. But to us, a guy that's been doing it a while, he's like, no, that's normal. That's about right. And you just set it aside. Thank God it ain't 20,000. Like it's not much money.
Yeah.
And the same thing for the marketing. You've got to be willing to buy some yard signs, knowing that they're going to get stolen, ran over by the state with a tractor and mulched to pieces, lost. All right. You got to be willing to put out whatever form of marketing you're going to do. You've got to understand that not every at bat is over the left field fence. It just don't work that way.
No. In order to be like Derek Jeter, man, you got to strike out like 6 out of 10 times. So here's the thing. I plan on striking out because if you bat 400, you're like, Mark McGuire. Okay.
Small God.
Yeah, you're a small god, little G. So I plan on striking out every time. I plan on striking out 6 out of 10 times, every single time. And I don't care if I get all 6 up front, right? I'm going to take 6 full Mike Tyson punches, meaning I just throw money in the lake 6 times. How many times? I want you to answer this in the comments. If you took, $2,000, just $2,000, and you go and just throw it in the lake and nothing comes of it, would you go back down to the lake and throw $2,000 more dollars in the lake? If you say yes, you got a chance. If you say no, you're clocking in.
You're clocking in, baby.
You clocking in.
Look,
I'll go 6 more times because I know I'm going to hit 4 out of 10. I know
once
I'm
you
going to hit
start
4 out of 10.
getting some wins, it gets a lot easier because guys, you get your rig, you get you some training, and here's what's really going to happen is you're going to go out for about a month. Nothing's going to go wrong. You're going to look back and say, well, damn, I made $28,000. But here's what happens. Guys will fail to count that. They will just make the money. It goes and comes, but they never count that. Like that didn't happen. But they will only focus on the belt on the 2-year-old pressure washer broke and it's $46 and they're mad. They're like, it's shit. Like, no, it's about right. You're not counting all all
the upside.
So you got to really analyze that. If you're kind of pessimistic anyway, you need to make sure you're actually counting the wins because you're here. You made money, right? Yep. You probably made double what you were making.
Oh, yeah. Me and Cody are that way. I mean, I'm probably more than Cody. I don't ever believe anything's a win. I'm just like, ain't no fucking win. It don't work. He's like, no, it works. I'm like, nah, it don't work. But here's what I found.
I'm like that. And then I thought I was like that. I was like, well, damn, Aaron, he's sitting on the chair like charing along me. You're sitting on it. I know it, but it ain't
I'm
real.
just so used to getting punched in the face. Like I'm like winning in a big way, like a really big way. And I still am like, it ain't.
I had to remind him, like, bro, we make more than like 2 good cardiac surgeons combined a year. Like, well, I guess that's right. But anyway, the hell all yeah, it keeps
There's a
you
healthy amount of pessimism that is that's good for you. It's a healthy amount. You know why? Because I'm always like, I could work harder than I'm working. I always think, I could be more optimized. I could do this for the website. I could do this. I could rank it for that. What about this ad stream? What about this ad platform? What about this? Why haven't we explored that? Why am I getting traffic from this weird space on the internet? Why haven't we explored that? So I'm always just like negative about certain stuff, but I am positive, every now
it's
and then.
good
I'm
to
like,
be
good
you're
win.
not crazy about it though, but it's good to be that way because if you celebrate, we kind of like a 24-hour rule. You celebrate, you go right back
That's
because
right.
you'll get like 2 wins and celebrate yourself right out of business. You're like, I'm on top of I'm out of business. So you've got to constantly be going, and that's like I said earlier, you just got to be tenacious about it. You've got to be willing to be obsessed with your business. You just got to be like, I've known people before that were part of companies that just didn't give a damn. They just didn't care. And it blows my mind. I don't understand that. I don't understand the not caring part because to me, it is as much of an important part of like, it is what we do as guys. You are what you do. First thing you meet somebody, they shake your hand. Hi, my name is, and what's the next question? What do you do? That's
Yep.
how we're defined as men is what do we do? What do you do for a living? That's the common question. And that's kind of,
And don't ever let your wife tell you that you're working too hard.
no, I don't give a damn. My wife, I don't have that problem, thank God, because it would go about as far as a fucking lead balloon in my
Yeah,
house.
me neither. But I know
Because
a lot of these boys are dealing with it.
a lot of y'all are dealing with that shit. But I'm not here to prove nothing. Like, I'm gonna do X, and ain't nobody in my circle gonna try to talk me off of that ledge. Because here's how that conversation goes: you get a little success, and it's like, man, happy for your first year, first starting out. Everybody's, oh, that's great, dude. You're gonna start a business. You start actually doing it, and you'll start getting all the negative talk, all the, yeah, are you sure that's gonna work? You sure that's a good idea? You sure? You sure? Blah blah. A bunch of bullshit, bunch of naysaying, a bunch of wet blanket and ass. But here's what happens: if you stick with it long enough, you get about 3 years in, 4 years in, those same some bitches will come around and they'll ask you to donate to some bullshit. Hey, it's just amazing what you built here. Y'all sure have been blessed. Y'all sure have been lucky. I'm like, well, I actually worked my ass off. Would you mind donating to my horse shit right here? It's weird how that works. But you just got to be able to push through it, man. Like, I don't care what kind of obstacles we're gonna encounter. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Matter of fact, bro.
Good thing for y'all is this is pretty straightforward. It ain't near as complex as some other stuff you could be getting into. It's easy, really. Come to the boot camp. We'll give you the cheat codes, man. We'll make it make a lot more sense. And you pretty much everybody that leaves the boot camps like, dang, I can do this. And a lot of them go and do it. Not
Yeah.
everybody, but a good number go
We've
out.
had a lot of success,
Yeah.
crazy amount. Mike Turman, 7-figure guy.
Dewey, Dewey Atchison down in Florida, those guys, they're
Yep.
crushing down
Ashley
there.
Westfall. Like, who else? Marco Hilby. Marco's crushing it in Spokane, dude.
Who's my boy up in Tuscaloosa?
Gene Marshall.
Gene.
Crushing Tuscaloosa, dude. Ex-Marine. He came to the Serious Starter, man. I forget. It was like 2020 or something, maybe. No, it was like 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's absolutely destroying Tuscaloosa. Still driving that old Dodge flatbed with the rig on it, bro. Like, just killing them. So come on out, guys. We'd love to see you.
Lots of myths, lots of truth, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. We try to cut up and make light of it, but we'd love to see you at the boot camp. There'll be some links down below. Grab a ticket. I think we've already sold 4 or 5. We try to not go over like 18, 19 in the class. That's about max capacity. We will feed you both days, and it's a lot. So we'll see you there. Peace out.